What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Celtics Daily Channel with me, Mike Zakarian. And if you tuned in yesterday, I want you to just reimagine me doing all of the things we did at the top of the show, because it is today that the NBA season, or preseason there, well, if you haven't, gets going tonight for the Boston Celtics. The Celtics are taking on the Grizzlies. We finally, for the love of God, get to see some actual basketball games. We no longer have to break down every single quote. We don't have to decide how fast they're running in practice and if that's important or not. We get to see actual basketball. If Anthony Simons can move on defense, if Jaylen Brown is really as healthy as he says he is, if we have a big man, if Peyton Pritchard is going to bleed some more. I'm excited. So they get the Memphis Grizzlies tonight at 8 o'clock. Mentioned this yesterday. So the preseason schedule for the next couple of days, they play tonight. Then they play Friday on the road as well, which is that, I can't remember if it's Toronto or Cleveland, something like that. And then on Sunday, they open up at the Garden for a game back there. So we finally get some basketball. I'm excited. I'll be honest, full transparency, we're just spitballing today. We're going to do some predictions. We got a Tatum announcement. We're going to make fun of LeBron James for 2 consecutive days, and then we'll get into your comments. So this might be a little bit briefer than normal, but that means tomorrow we're going to grind the tape. We got actual stuff to talk about. I'm hyped for it. Appreciate everybody, just like off the top, who's been hanging out here, okay? Because, the offseason gets a little quiet, but you were still tuning in every day. We're turning the camera on every day. I appreciate you guys engaging with the content. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have some feedback, positive, critical, constructive, whatever, throw it in the chat. Excited to take this to a new level as we, dive. This is the first full season that we're going to do, right? We started dabbling in the postseason last year, really ramped up in the offseason, but this is the first start to finish we get to cook together here at the Celtics Daily. And let's use that as a reminder. Like the video, hit the subscribe, get involved in the comments. Let's go. Let's do this. Actually, let's take a little coffee sip for you ASMR freaks over there. It's early, guys. It's early where I'm recording today, but it also feels a little bit earlier because I feel like we've had a good run. We're talking about the weather. What the hell's going on? We've had a good run of weather. It's like a little rainy today, so it's taking me a little extra oomph to get going here on a Wednesday morning. The after effects of staying up late on a Monday night. It's like the 2-day thing. The next day I'm fine. It's 2 days later, your body hurts. All right, let's do it. Predictions. Let's cook. Let's cook with what we're thinking for this upcoming NBA season. And at the end, I want to hear from all of you guys and what your thoughts are on the predictions, but we'll get there. We got an 82 regular season game, all right? Celtics over-under, I believe, is at 41.5 right now. I'm going to go over. I think the Celtics are going to finish, 45-37. I think we're going to be 7 games over 500. No, that's bad math. 8 games over 500? Does that equal 82? I think it does. 45-37. I have been going back and forth this entire season. I feel like they are somewhere in that range of anywhere from 8 games over 500 to 8 games under 500. Have a tough time believing. I saw some predictions out there that they're going to get to 47, 48, 50 wins. Have a tough time believing that. I have also gone away from the tank. Most of the offseason, I really thought, maybe that's just I didn't have that dog in me, that Missoula dog in me. But early in the offseason, I really was just trying to look at it less as a fan, as a long-term fan, not just instant gratification. And I was looking at this Celtics roster, which we've talked about ad nauseum at this point, and I was just like, does this team really have a chance to compete for a title? And I think the answer that I had over the summer is the same answer I have right now. No, I don't think so. But that doesn't mean it has to be all or nothing. Shout out O-Town, 'cause I want it all or nothing. All right. I'm old. But I don't think it has to be one or the other. And I think we have been fortunate enough, we have been lucky enough for the last decade to just be in contention. Every single year, if we weren't the betting favorite to come out of the East, we were a top 3 team in the East at the start of every single season. When you have Tatum and Brown, and you look at the rest of the Eastern Conference, which historically just not as talented as the Western Conference, not as deep anyways, Celtics always had a shot in it. And this is the first year that I can remember in a while that I don't feel that way. But I don't think that means you have to completely pull out the bathtub plug and just let it drain to the bottom. I don't think so. And I mean, I know there's some there's some benefit of that, right? We've seen teams do it before. Most notably, the Golden State Warriors when Steph Curry got hurt. And I believe this was around the COVID year, right? And then all of a sudden they had the number 2 pick. I think the following year they had like the number 7 pick or something, where they went James Wiseman and Jonathan Kuminga in back-to-back seasons. And I know, or I think one of those was a Timberwolves pick from the Andrew Wiggins, D'Angelo Russell trade, which that feels like 25 years ago now. But I know there's like a world in which the Celtics are like, hey, listen, we don't have to put the mileage on these guys, and we can just, take our licks this year, go get a really solid draft pick, kind of take a step back, zoom out, take in the landscape of the league right now and where it's going, and then like methodically decide what moves we're making to move on to the new with Tatum's return, right? But I just don't think this team is built like that. And I'm not trying to I think it's easy for every single player and member of an organization before the season starts to be like, well, we're built different. The Red Auerbach smoke. We are a championship caliber team. I don't know why that turned into Richard Nixon there at the end. But it's easy to believe into that hype, but I do think one of the benefits of the consistency of the roster, and I know it's a little bit different this year, but having Jaylen Brown, Peyton Pritchard, Derek White, Sam Hauser, and then you look at the young guys who are now going to have an opportunity that have been here for a couple of years, the Jordan Walshes, Baylor Shiremans of the world. I just don't think they're going to roll over. I don't think, unless it comes from the top, where Brad and Chisholm are saying like, hey, listen, let's just rest some guys. But I don't think we're going to see that. I think we're going to see shut out the Memphis Grizzlies of years past. We're going to see some, I want to say grit and grind, but it's not really going to be defensive grit and grind. I don't think we're going to be playing a lot of defense. I think this is if you're not a Celtics fan, one, why are you watching this? But two, I think it's going to be an elite league pass team. I think you're going to see this team do some weird stuff. I think they're going to play really fast. I think they're going to throw weird looks at you. I think from a fantasy side of things, you're going to see some really fun performances. But I think ultimately, I'm going to go glass half full. I'm going to say 8 games over 500. And that's going to put them at probably the 5 or the 6 seed. Ooh, excuse me. That one caught up. Normally, I'm prepared for the cough. I am going to put the Knicks as the 1 seed. Even though there's some weird vibes with the Giannis stuff, Knicks is the 1 seed. I'm going to put the Cavs at the 2 seed. I'm going to go ahead and put the Hawks at the 3 seed, and then I'm going to go Magic, Pistons, and then Celtics. I'm going to put the Celtics at the 6. So I'm putting the Celtics ahead of teams like the Miami Heat, the Milwaukee Bucks, the Philadelphia 76ers, and so on, and then the Toronto Raptors, who I think the Raptors might be a little sneaky, but that's where I'm landing here. That is where I'm landing, and I think we're going to see all-NBA caliber performance from Jaylen Brown. I think we're going to see him make second-team All-NBA. I think he's going to average over 25 points per game. I think Peyton Pritchard is going to average 19, 5, and 5. And then I think we're going to see Anthony Simons average over 20 points per game. That's what I'm looking for this season. That's what I'm looking for. That is going to be Zakarian's prediction for the Boston Celtics season. We'll end with your predictions when we get to your comments, because yesterday's video was a quiet one. I think you're going to get Missoula Coach of the Year buzz. I think that's another prediction I'll throw out there. Joey Maz is going to get some Coach of the Year buzz. I think Jaylen Brown Jaylen Brown will make an all-star team, but I think he's going to be the only all-star, because here's why. I think the Celtics are going to finish the second half of the season very strong. You're going to have teams around them start tanking. I think it's easy to go on runs at the second half of the year. I think Peyton Pritchard will get some all-star buzz. I think both Peyton Pritchard and Anthony Simons will participate in the three-point contest. I think Neemias Queta, I think he's going to average a double-double this season. I think he is. I'm a believer. I'm a believer in the Queta situation. I wanna believe in it. I wanna believe in it. So give me Nemi, baby. Give me Nemi. Give me the Portuguese prince that was promised. Let's cook with it. All right, let's move on. There was some news yesterday in Jason Tatum off the basketball court. Jason Tatum, CBO, Chief Basketball Officer for Duke University. I gotta tell you, I'm into this stuff. I know it's kind of corny, like Steph Curry, the general manager of Davidson. I love it. I think it shows maturity that these guys want to give back to the institutions that gave them an opportunity. I know it's different. There's a part of me that always hates when a college is like, hey, give money. And I'm like, brother, I gave you hundreds of thousands of dollars. What did you do with that money? What did you do with it? So that's whenever the alumni hit me up, that is my first thought. Like, go get it from Sally Mae, bro. But to see Tatum, who, only spent 1 year at Duke, but clearly had a very strong connection with Krzyzewski when he was there, Shire, and like the rest of the Duke basketball organization, to see that he wants to go back, have this opportunity to like mentor these young guys. And I thought he had an interesting quote that came from that meeting with those kids. We can call them kids, right? Students, if you will. That Tatum was like, I remember being in your shoes and people telling me like, hey, if you need anything, hit me up. And Tatum basically being like, well, there's no way that's real, right? Like I'm sure that's just a thing you say. Like when a friend of yours is moving and you're like, hey man, if you need any help next weekend, like hit me up. But like it's implied. Don't you dare reach out to me. I'm not interested in helping you move. No one is interested without pizza, beer, and a little bit of cash. That's the only way it's happening, right? Because I'm not a good friend. I'm not a good friend. But I think Tatum, and that was what Tatum was implying. And he was like, no, seriously, here's my number. Anything you need, hit me up. I like this, though. I think this is a cool thing. I think one of the things that's missing in college basketball, at least on the men's side, is there's this lack of continuity because guys are really only going for a year or two. Although maybe that's starting to shift now because you can make sweet, sweet cash staying in college. I know, again, that's more in the women's game than the men's game. They are still making money, but like the men's NBA payday is a little bit better than the WNBA's payday, obviously. Although maybe that's changing because there is some real. You guys, if you want some messy labor agreements, follow what's going on in the WNBA here. I think they might be ousting a commissioner before all is said and done. Right now, what's happening, just a quick tangent since it's a slow news day, the equivalent to what's happening in the WNBA would be if LeBron James, Victor Wembanyama, and Anthony Edwards all basically was like, Adam Silver's a piece of shit. That's essentially what's happening. They're saying it obviously more articulate than what I just did, but like the best players in the WNBA have called out the commissioner and for saying some like pretty off the cuff, not great stuff. So I'm fascinated to see how that plays out. But anyways, I do think like having this sort of institutional lineage here of having players who have participated, instead of just going back to the homecoming game or whatever, they're like showing real connection to the university and the institution. I don't know. I just think that's good. I think that's good. I'm here for it. One thing also too that I think is like really funny about this is like, the Duke North Carolina rivalry ramped up a little bit, and somehow Boston is getting brought into it because Billy Belichick out there, if you guys didn't see, Bill Belichick coaching the University of North Carolina, absolute dumpster fire of a situation. Hulu was supposed to do one of those all-access type documentaries of this season. They've pulled the plug on that. They've canceled it. They won't let any, like the Patriot, like North Carolina's not allowed to talk about the Patriots. Like Drake May, who went to UNC, balled out on Sunday night, beats the Buffalo Bills. UNC mums the word. No tweets, nothing like that because you're not allowed to. Meanwhile, the Duke rivalry maybe is picking up Boston fans right now. People who might have swayed UNC is like, yikes. Bill Belichick's down there doing some weird stuff. And now Tatum, my boy Tatum, CBO. I got to respect my chief basketball officer. I don't know. I'm here for it. Let's make fun of LeBron for a second. We speculated it was going to be Amazon Prime Day. NBA is with Amazon this year, which I actually think is going to be a pretty good product. They have hired really good people to do their studio stuff, so I'm excited to see it. But I thought it was going to be some sort of Amazon collab. Instead, it's a Hennessy commercial. I'm a big defender of LeBron in the sense that I feel like sometimes he gets I don't know. Not a raw deal. I just think it's weird that everyone's like, you either have to be the best player of all time or you're dog shit, right? And I'm a big fan of like LeBron's career is insane. He's literally my age, right? Our birthdays are like 2 weeks apart. So it's kind of tough to see somebody my age physically doing what they're doing when I'm putting icy hot before I go grocery shopping. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm very respectful of like, the fact that he's still doing like 27 or 25, 7-7 in year 23 or whatever, like his career's insane, to see what he did with Miami, that game 6 where he comes into Boston and just like lights out, what he did with AD and company in LA. Like I'm a LeBron, not a fan, but like I respect what LeBron's done. Jordan's always my GOAT, but I get I get the hate right now. This is just dumb, dude. This is dumb. And again, there was an opportunity, there was a way for him to make fun of the decision in a great way. I'm all about turning the joke on yourself. There's something very, very sweet and humbling when you're able to make fun of yourself. Especially societally speaking, where we're at right now. If you can't laugh at yourself, we're screwed. All right, dark times. You need to be able to laugh at yourself. And so there was a moment, a glimmer of hope that I was like, oh, LeBron's really poking fun at himself. And instead, he probably got a couple $1,000,000 to do that shit. And I'm just like, come on, man. Between that, and I don't know if you've seen this again, I'm terminally online, so it's a problem. Harrison Barnes of the San Antonio Spurs just released some like AI music video garbage. Brother, you've made hundreds of millions of dollars. Do me a favor. Pay someone to make you a song. His AI character was double dribbling in every scene. What are we doing? Anyway, sorry. With this, I'm telling you, man, we need basketball. I need basketball games. I don't want to be talking about Harry Barnes and AI or LeBron and Hennessy. That's where we're at. I'm angry today. I haven't had enough coffee. Can you hear it in my voice? I feel irritable. I think it's important that I stay solo today. Although I will tell you, not only did the Celtics pick up basketball tonight, your boy, 40-plus league tonight. All right. You want a quick story here? I don't know if I've told this on here because this happened last week. 40, we're 1-1. I can't believe I'm doing this on the show, but you know what? This is why you tune in. We're 1-1 on the show. All right. I mean, in the league this year. We lost our last game. A guy who's probably 6'2", 6'3", gets a rebound over me, puts it back in, and then hit me with the too small. Now, you don't know this because I'm sitting down. You just see my big-ass head, so you have no idea how tall I am. 5'7", 140. I'm 5. You can't hit me with the too small. No shit. I'm 5'7", 140. Yes, I am too small. This is just bullying. That's all you're doing is bullying right now. So you know what I did next time down? Next time down, he went under the screen, knocked down a 3, and then I said, too dumb. And then I apologized because, as I said, I am 5'7", 140. I can't be doing that. Also, I'm an adult. We can't be fighting over rec league basketball. So I apologized, dapped him up right away. Anyways, I'm also playing basketball tomorrow. Tonight. So speaking of icy hot, we will be all icy hotted up by the time we get back here. Your comments. All right, I'm just interested. What are your predictions? Because the comments were light yesterday. I said 8 games over 500 this year. Where are you landing with the Boston Celtics? Where are you putting them? 8 games over 500? Higher, lower? What are you doing? The over-under is set at 41.5. Are you taking the over, the under? I already asked you for your starting 5. Tell me, are we getting any All-Stars? How many? 3-point contest. Hit me with your predictions. Also hit the subscribe. Go check out my other channel, the NBA Bit. We'll be back tomorrow. We're going to be grinding some tape. Have a great day, all right? Don't have the energy that I had today. Just be positive. Hug a friend. Hug a family member. Kiss an enemy. All right, we're going to get the hell out of here.